Hey YouTube, if you watched my last video, then you know that I've been having some tire troubles, and I'm happy to say that those are coming to an end. As you can see, I've got some BF Goodrich all-terrains on here. They're 285/75 on a 16-inch rim, the same rim I had before. I just have them mounted on the same rim. They're a little bit smaller. I had 315/75s before, where I was getting the rub, and it was rubbing back here. And I realized, and I don't think I talked about it in the last video, the reason it's rubbing in the rear is because the wheel, as the suspension compresses, the wheel moves backwards. And that's just the design of the suspension. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I didn't account for it when I designed the fender. If it went straight up and down, it would have been fine. But since it moves back, it rubs. And so fortunately this one clears it. And to kind of show you why that is, I don't know if you can see, but the axle-less suspension is like a big lever, and it's not like a traditional suspension. So you can see how it moves back a little bit. And it's just enough, you know. In hindsight, I should have given myself like an extra 3 inches of clearance. Why not, you know? But it is what it is, and it works now. And these tires look really good. So, and actually, the full story of how I ended up with these tires, I was pretty fed up. As you could probably tell in the last video, and I decided to just go to a tire store and look at all the different sizes. And fortunately my local Pep Boys was super cool, and they let me take a tire. Well, I had to buy it, of course, but they said as long as I don't roll on it, I could return it. And so I was able to come see how it fit on the trailer. And I decided, after looking at how it fit, I decided I was going to go for it. There was no way for me to know 100% if it was going to rub, but what I did do is I measured the suspension, how compressed it was, and I know based off the specs exactly how much more compression it has left, and so I was able to guesstimate that it wasn't going to rub. So I decided I'm going to buy 2 more of these, and that day, later that day, I guess the next day, before I went and bought them, I went on Craigslist and happened to find that someone had just posted 2 of the exact same size in these BF Goodrich all-terrains. So this tire was like $160 or $180, somewhere around there, and I paid $70 each for these 2. So I paid $140 for 2 of these. I paid Pep Boys $20 to mount them, and so out the door, $80 a pop basically, versus, you know, what this with mounting was like 200 something. So I did decide to keep this one from Pep Boys because, you know, they were super cool, and I figure I don't want to be a jerk and return it because it does fit, and they did let me, you know, use it, and so I'll use it as a spare. So they get my business for 1 tire, and I'll certainly head back there again. The 2 guys, or the guy and the girl there that helped me out, were super cool. You can also see I got my jerry can mounted up here. It kind of rattles in the holder a little bit. I think I'm gonna get like some rubber inserts or something to try and make it a little bit more secure. But anyways, that's where I'm at. I've got just this week and next weekend, or this coming weekend, to finish it up before my trip, which is the following weekend. And I've got a pretty short list of things to do. And I'm starting to look at the finer details, like, let's see, I bought pillows, I've got curtains, I've got curtain rods, I got a carbon monoxide sensor, I got a little fire extinguisher, all the little, the details. My dad laughs at me because he says I'm being an interior decorator when I start buying all that stuff. But, you know, it's a good sign to be that close. So thanks for tuning in, and hopefully my next update video will probably be Sunday, when I have probably the bulk of the remaining tasks done. Thanks for tuning in.